Hello. Welcome, friends. We're here. We're back. Back to play Plays in the Dark. Rusted Lock. It's been a bit, and it's worth noting that we are now moving to Wednesdays. So our plan is to do every other Wednesdays. And in the Wednesdays in between those Wednesdays, the not every other Wednesdays, the every odd Wednesday, I don't know. We'll be playing a different game starting next week. That'll have all of these beautiful faces and some more. So that's super exciting. I'm Sean Inner. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Ankh, the Eruvian whisperer who has a chip on her shoulder and lots of insecurity issues, lots of family debts that she doesn't know if she wants to pay or not, and lots of girlfriends. And it's delightful.
I feel like if you looked up ingredient lists for disaster lesbian, it would be like several of those. Like
issues, bound to demons, lots of girlfriends, right? Yeah, I think Ark is all those things. And last we left off, she was just talking with Ixis, the demon prince from Aruvia. No big deal, no big deal. And getting information on what's on the whereabouts of and the what's abouts of Lady Arabella. Yeah, super excited to dive into that. How about you, Kristen?
Hi, folks. I'm Kristen, she, her pronouns. I play the Rusted Locks Leech Penance, also she, her pronouns. And I think for every girlfriend that Ankh has, Penance has a heartbreak. A platonic heartbreak, a love interest heartbreak. Just Ray is so good at harming Penance emotionally, and wow, am I here for it.
Oh, that person you love? Yeah, something tragic happened to them.
Something tragic happened to them. They betray you.
Often that you did, right? Like it's not even like lack of agency. It's like, well, do you want this thing or do you want to save Angelo? Do you want this thing or do you want to save Juliet? Do you want this thing or do you want to?
It's so true. And when Penance is not having her heart broken, she is apparently building hollows and then immediately forgetting about them because her memories are missing. Oh, I love her. The more I talk about her, the more I love her. Ray, were you going to say something about the relationship?
I was just going to say, who is this awful GM?
You mean amazing GM. We keep coming back.
Yeah, there's a reason why we're going to play 100 sessions of this game.
Right.
Exactly.
True.
But I think that's it for me. So, Ray, how about you?
Yeah, so my name is Ray. My pronouns are they, he, and I am very lucky to be the GM for this culty cult crew. And last time we approached, it was like a really, really great moment when our cult came in, assuming they could push around their patron Matthias Klein like usual, except whoops. Somehow he has gained all this power from this golden dagger in the meantime, and has drawn the attention of a very powerful demon prince who seems to like Matthias a whole lot. So
yeah, Ixis was pretty protective, and to the extent that like Ankh was both simultaneously like very obsequious to this, very important demon, but also like really put out. She was like, "You like him? Him?" Like she just couldn't. Yeah, she couldn't get over herself. She still has not gotten over herself. She is still just like, what? Because she's super elitist and super judgy, and she thinks that Matthias is a doof. Or not a doof. She just thinks he's like a dilettante. Like he's playing at occultism, and it's like her life, and he's just like fucking around with it, and like has a demon prince. Like what kind of bullshit is this? Yeah.
Right. 100%. Yeah. So last that we left off, we were in the middle of asking questions of our demon, gathering information for our next score. So shall we briefly describe like what we learned from the demon?
Yeah, I think so. We were just sort of talking beforehand, and I got a 6 on the gather information roll. So I think I asked like the main question, and then I think we should recap that, and then I'm gonna ask a follow up, and then I think we can hopefully then we'll do a score. So yeah, Ray, you want to recap what Ixus said when I was like, "What's Lady Arabella up to these days?"
Yeah, and so the demon used their magic and trickery, right? And I want to re-describe what Ixis looks like metal plates, like bronze and rusted, and these horns that come from their head, right? So truly like a demon where you can feel the power radiating off of them. And Ixis showed this strange crypt-like place where several coffins were, and where Lady Arabella's beloved children. So just as a brief recap, Lady Arabella was a rival to Lord Skurlock, right? A friend of yours. But Lady Arabella left a long time ago. Left Duskfall. It looked like she was never coming back. And strangely enough, has returned in order to empower her children is the impression that the two of you have gotten. But whatever these poor wretched creatures are within their coffins, suffering as they are, and what feeds them is more suffering and more power. So we're not quite sure what it is that Lady Arabella is doing. Only that, yeah. But we're going to go into the follow-up question for that for sure. But yeah, so you have a vague idea where the crypt is. There are lots of children there. You know the Timekeeper, who is a very scary person. Well, I mean, the Timekeeper's pronouns are it. So like
Yeah.
for a reason.
Very scary.
It's very, very scary. And so it has been helping Lady Arabella, right? And so I will also briefly say that we found out that Penance made the Timekeeper in order to help protect Lady Arabella in the first place. So
why Penance?
To protect both Jessica and Lady Arabella.
That's right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and is this, I can't recall, and Kristen, this is entirely up to you, how much of that Ankh knows. Like, I don't think Ankh knows any, I don't think Ankh heard any of it directly. I think it's all come in bits from Penance. But refresh me on how clued into all this Ankh is, because I think that's totally up to you, and I want to play. I want Ankh to push on that as much as it would be really fun for you, and not at all if it would, if that's not something you want her to get involved in.
Yeah. Sorry, I've been watching, like a decade late. I've been watching Supernatural with my partner.
Oh,
and for anyone who doesn't, I'm on season 7 now.
Okay,
I'm committed now. I'm almost halfway through the show. For those who don't know, it's about 2 brothers who do a bunch of ghost hunting. It's intense, but the theme throughout, at least the first 7 seasons, is one of the 2 brothers will have a major problem, like they're possessed by Lucifer, and they refuse to tell the other brother.
Yes,
and they never learn their lesson.
Never.
And I say that because obviously Penance did not tell Ankh.
Got it. Perfect. Yeah, that show, it's so bad, but I also love it so much. I think I got to about season 10 or so before I burnt out, but I'm sure someday I'll go back and watch the rest. But
yeah, it's very campy and ridiculous.
There's this amazing infinite GIF where it's got one like a bullet's coming and one person's like no, and they get in front of the person, and the other one's like no, and they get in front of that person, and they're like no, and they get in front of that person, and then they're like no, and they get in front.
That's the show,
and that is like, because it's constantly like, you're my brother, and I will never ever betray you,
and the close-ups later. The close-ups back and forth.
Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles, man. And then 2 seconds later, I can never trust you again. I'm never talking to you. I'll see you later.
Let's
I
go
don't
work
have
a
anything
job.
to do with you.
Yep.
And then, I have to protect him. He's my brother.
Welcome to our supernatural lives.
Yes.
I really love all the manly crying that stays within this area.
Yes.
It doesn't leave it, right?
Does
It's so
it?
Dean Ackles is so good at it, right? I
Yeah.
love it so
Uh-huh.
much.
And he also, like, I love that Dean is always the one who has to, whenever there's like a dumb thing that, like, they go to like LARP camp,
Yep.
and then Dean's like, I kind of want to LARP, and by the end he's like charging, you know.
Yes.
True.
Dean is one of those characters that makes me feel like, obviously, you could never be in a relationship with him because he
he's a
has so
mess.
much baggage. He's such a
Yeah.
mess.
Oh,
And then immediately I'm like, but maybe I could fix you.
oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Or
my God.
maybe I can make him worse.
Oh
I
my
would
God.
be
The
a mess.
idea that you would want to redeem Dean. I mean, not that Sam's any better, but Sam's just like the broken emo. Sorry, you all came for Blazing Dark. We're just gonna talk shit about Supernatural.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. We can go back to Blazing.
I have so many feels about this show. Like, I know it's a bad show, and yet I'm so drawn to it. It's
Yes.
just...
I think the three of us have to have a call to talk about Supernatural now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So, assuming, okay, cool. Ankh does not know.
But I will say,
Mhm.
because when Penance found out that information, it was a memory that she almost immediately lost access to, right?
Yes.
And so I remember that she reached out to you, Ankh, to try to tell you, but it was just
That's
an
right.
impression, right?
I
Through that.
I said it's all my fault. I was gonna try to
Yeah.
give
Yes.
details, but then Penance just said it's all my fault while through the channel. So Penance doesn't remember, but I think good call, Ray. I think what it is then is that I imagine at some point later, Unc was like, so what'd you mean? What'd you mean by it was all your fault? And Penance was like, oh, nothing. And Unc's like, okay, we just move on because we don't know how to communicate.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I'll make sure to bring that up at some point. I'll try and have a flashback to that when it's least convenient
Perfect.
for all of us.
Perfect.
So I think my follow up, if that sounds right, is Ankh still obsequious to Ixis, but also going from supplicant role to like planning role and like machinations role. Is sort of like, because we were in this like illusionary space, this VR kind of environment where we're like kind of in this, we're like, it's like we're there, and Ankh like goes and puts her hand on one of the coffins and like looks like she's gonna like pry it open to look inside, and then she looks over her shoulder and she says, great Lord Ixis, can you divine why Arabella would want to bring such wretched creatures back, or wretched creatures to this place? Like, why she would want to birth such wretched creatures, and why here? Maybe that's too many follow-up questions, but that's what I ask. Feel free to answer with.
Yeah, no, we got a 6. You know, I'm a kind, generous GM. So I think what happens is Lord Ixis comes close, right? And at that exact moment when they do, the hand from within the coffin reaches out and grabs your wrist, and you can like sense the desperation. It's like the sense of someone grabbing you while they're drowning.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so as they grab you, the demon comes close and says, why else would we do such terrible, terrible things? Is it not always for love? And then the demon like pushes the coffin open so you can see the screaming child in it, but the screams are silent because the black goop just always keeps entering the mouth over and over again. And before you can look too closely at the horror that's in the coffin, the demon draws you close and says, I can see why Oridan likes you so much. And if she hadn't already laid a claim on you, well. And then they pull back But yes, it's for love. Lady Arabella has fooled themselves into thinking that there is a way that they can save who they love. And that makes her very, very dangerous.
Hmm. There's like Ankh was paying a ton of attention to all of everything Ix was saying until she said Ordan laid claim to you, and now Ankh's like, where, what? Because so far, like every time, like a demon or a forgotten god has like like laid claim to her, some tattoos appeared, and then I think she remembers the contract she made with demon, which is a terrible idea. And then she like looks at her arm, looks at her wrist, um, and sees the pearl, and um, yeah, and remembers like, oh yeah, okay. So I think she kind of loses a little bit of the detail, but she gets to that's what makes her so dangerous, and and there's a big gulp. Um,
And then when that happens, Ixis looks at you quizzically. Have I misunderstood the nature of the relationship between you and Oradon, perhaps?
I think if anyone is to misunderstand, uh, I think if anyone's misunderstood our relationship, it's me. I still, I'm still uncertain of the the bound. Of the. I'm still a fledgling adept when it comes to the intimacy of occult bonds. Um, she's like, I've dated all kinds of human disasters, but like, I'm really not sure about dating demon disasters. That is what I'm trying to say in coded language.
Right. And when you say that, Ixis crooks their finger towards Mateus. And Mateus comes over, and Ixis like draws a finger across his neck, drawing a little bit of blood. And Mateus says, I could teach you many things, Ankh. Don't worry. Perhaps later when you have time.
Yeah, perhaps later. Jamie, you've done it. You've managed to make one character that Ankh is not like interested in getting
I
involved
never
in.
thought I would see the day.
Ankh's like, I'll flirt with you, and I'll flirt with you, and like you made like one character who is he's just like schmarmy. He's just
He is. He is.
um. So yeah, what do you think, Kristen? Do you want to like cut to make an engagement roll, cut to the action, show us going down there?
Yeah, we can do that.
Does that feel
Yeah,
ready?
I don't think I need any more information. If you want to try to get more information, that's fine. But I think
No,
we're
I'm ready.
Yeah, it was hard to find Judd, but I found that I did have a feeling though, because Mateus is such a little shit. I had a feeling.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
really is.
Yeah, Judd posted earlier. If you think someone your friend is dating is a doof, be really careful about how you tell them. Really careful. I mean, I think that's extra true if they're a demon prince. Like, be really careful about. So yeah,
Mhm.
I think that's good. That's good advice for Ankh to not get too. Yeah, not extra true if they're your ex. Yeah, yeah.
Fair.
All right, so we could. What I'm looking at. Okay, so we're gonna go down. I think it's super reasonable to. Um, I think it's super reasonable to sort of try and get some leverage on Lady Arabella, and then be like, "Don't do it. It's a mistake." But I think if we just walk up to her right now, it's the 20s, mistakes were made. Yeah, I mean, anyone, everybody in the 20s, mistakes were made. I feel like if we had a social contract, a social score right now where we're just like, Lady Arabella, don't do that. It's a bad plan. I don't feel like we have a strong argument to make
Fair.
to her.
Agreed. Yep.
So I'm kind of inclined towards like a stealth thing where we know what the entry point is because we know where it is, and we like try and go do some weird occulty shit with the children so we can like get them on our side or destroy
Or get
them.
information.
Yeah.
Or destroy them.
Yeah. Figure out more about them. But I think it's like get to the kiddos and
Yeah.
Yeah, not kiddos. Demons spawn things that are being born.
No, what I'm hearing is that Ankh wants to destroy the children. That's
yeah. Thank you for articulating. Thanks for just making that a very nice soundbite for someone to capture and just repeat.
We can say demon children from now on if it makes you, or demon kiddos if it makes you feel better.
Actually, kiddos is worse because that's what I call my kids. So
me too.
Let's call them demon children. That sounds great.
I like it. Demon children. Okay.
So yeah, I think we're gonna do a stealth plan, and our detail, which has to be our entry point, is the catacombs of Dustfall. That I think even though we didn't see the way there in the vision, I feel like by having the vision, we could find. Does that seem reasonable, right? That we know where they are?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So
you also know the Lord of the Depths, right? So I have a feeling that, right?
Yeah, we do.
Be able to help you.
Yeah. I feel like even if it's not, so the Lord of the Depths is in our manor in Six Towers. Do we name that house? I felt like we gave it a name and I've forgotten it.
Oh my gosh. I think we were thinking about it.
I was going to say, I think we were going to think of a name, but we haven't yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
All right.
Like lightning flashes, rain is coming down right before we see the name. Cut.
Right? Yes.
Well done, Ray. Thank you.
Okay. It's going to torment me. So I think that our manor, which is not our lair, but our manor where the Lord of the Depths has sort of taken house and rooted in, which is our link to the Deathlands. I feel like it's like we would travel the same kind of ghost passage to find this sort of place, even if it is not in the Deathlands. Does that sound like that we would use the gateway that we have as our claim to access some of the dark depths of Dustwall as well? And maybe that means passing in and out of the ghost field to do it. You pass, like I can imagine like a wall that's been blockaded up, but in the ghost field from 100 years ago, it wasn't. So like you pass through the ghost field to get through a physical place that you can't access right now and then come back out again into the physical realm. That's just kind of I don't know. We had this cool, we have a cool, is it called a demon gate? What's it called? It's called a, pulling it up.
Is it the
ancient gate?
Ancient gate. Got it.
Ancient gate. Yeah. What were you gonna say? Is it the?
Oh no, I was confusing it with the well.
Oh yes.
Oh
where we threw down Athea. That's another one. This
cool
house, this manor has seen a lot. I'm just gonna say.
Yes, there is a spirit well in it. Oh, you're right. That is like kind of the way that we get passages through the spirit well. Lots of ghosties, and I think the Lord of the Depths gives a sort of safe passage through all the ghosties that would otherwise be super, super dangerous. I think we get safe passage to them in the spirit well. So yeah, you're totally right. And I think it's like this room where you walk in, it looks kind of like a mirrored room, where like the one side of it is real and the other side of it's the ghost field, but it looks like a reflection of it, and you kind of have to walk through into the well, and all the ghosties are trying to get out, but the ghost field is pulling them back in, and they're grabbing at everything. Yeah. So yeah, let's roll that engagement roll.
Let's do that.
We get. Let's see.
Yeah, we're going through the list.
I'm going to pull up the compendium because I can't find it in the handouts. Bum, bum, bum. I love having the engagement. Engage roll. Bam.
Mhm.
Okay. Sorry. I thought I was screen sharing. Okay. Start off with $1. Is this operation particularly bold or daring?
I'd say it's pretty bold and daring. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going into the the depths of a very dangerous person investing with her stuff on
Yep.
her terms.
And her
I'm
children.
doing all the positives and then I'll do the negatives. Does the
Okay.
plan expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? What do you think, Ray? Are they
Ooh.
expecting someone to sneak in to this lair?
I was thinking if we can get to their children, isn't that exposing a vulnerability? Could be, maybe not.
Could be.
This is the right question. I apologize. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Ray.
No. I'm just thinking the timekeeper is so scary. So
True.
probably, yeah.
So
Probably not exposing a vulnerability.
Fair.
Yeah.
cool. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight in the operation? I feel like the Lord of the Depths is like helping us. I feel like Ixis gave us all this information. It seems like that's a. All right, so we're up to 3 dice.
Okay.
Are there any other major elements that are helping us? Any other major factors? Are we higher tier, or do we have any kind of like big Achilles heels? I feel like at some point the fact that you created the timekeeper will be a major advantage, but it's not yet because you.
I don't think it is yet because I don't know it yet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm feeling no.
I'm feeling no too, but Ray. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so we're at 3 dice. Is the plan overly complex or contingent on many factors? I don't think so. We're going in. We're going to steal some babies. It's fine.
Soundbite.
Sound like just Sean, like, racking them up.
Is the target strongest against this approach? Do they have particular defenses or special preparations?
Oh, it is there. Oh, right question.
Wait, sorry. What is
Is
the
the target strongest against this approach? Our approach is stealth.
Mm.
Or do they have particular defenses or special preparations?
Yeah, they do have defenses.
Cool. So down to 2 dice.
Okay.
Are any of our enemies or rivals interfering with the operation?
Ooh, let's check. I'm gonna go. Yeah.
We've got the Spirit Wardens, the Hive, the Gondoliers. They're all folks who don't like
Oh,
us.
yeah,
We've
but
also got personal enemies.
Yeah. But in terms of the factions, I think this is under the radar for them. But yeah. But there is someone that we have to worry about that could appear. I'm just
Okay.
gonna leave it mysteriously at that.
All right, so we're gonna go down a die for that, I assume. So we're down to 1. Are there other elements you want to consider? A higher tier target would give us a penalty. Are there some major advantage that they have over us?
No, I think that's about fair. I think we brought everything into.
Cool. I mean, we gave them a die for the special defenses, so I feel good with that. Cool. So we're swinging at a big old 1D. Kristen, do you want to roll that? Do you want me to?
You go ahead.
You trust in me?
You had I don't want to say why. I don't want to jinx us. Very superstitious this evening.
Roll engagement. 1 die. Submit. Bam!
Nice! You only need
Cool.
the
House. Only needed the 1 to get a 6.
Well done.
one. So good. I can see Kristen's face is like, if I rolled it, it would not have been a 6.
You could tell, right? I didn't even disagree. You could tell. I knew it in my gut. I was like, no, it's not my time. Thank you, Sean.
Oh, my pleasure. Happy to get us down there.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
excellent.
That's not the way I wanted. So since it's been a while, because I can't remember what you get on a 6 anymore.
Oh,
I think it's we're in a
right?
controlled situation, right? Yeah.
Nice.
Right. So yeah, meaning we'll briefly describe how you ended up there, right? So once again, because I just love this visual, we have to have the stepsisters and their like funeral boat, right? Like bringing
Mm-hmm.
you to where you have to go. And I think like you notice like on your way there, you see glimpses of the Lord of the Depths in the waters leading you onwards. Once again, the Lord of the Depths is like this huge faded divinity. So all you see is like this huge blinking eye underneath the boat, right? Leading you onwards. You sort of get this impression of like just miles of fabric floating under the water as you are brought closer and closer. And as you go through the catacombs, like we see images, like it's raining outside because it's Duskwall. When is it not raining in the city? Right? Lightning continues to crash. I think also the child came with you, Penance, and so they're waiting by the mouth of the entrance, right? And then he reaches out towards you and he takes his hand and he says, "Mother, if you need anything, just please, just call me and I'll be there."
I will stay close.
And you can tell like he's really, really bored. And once again, when the lightning flashes, we see his eyes like fill up with that lightning like an owl, right? That's the only way we can tell that
Mm-hmm.
he's a hull and that he's not a person. But he waits right by the entrance. The two of you go in. You have like these small like lamps with directed light as you get closer and closer, shutting it off once in a while when you hear patrols nearby, right? You get closer and closer. This is the part of the catacombs in the crypt that's like really old. You can see some of the coffins here have eroded over time. Some of them have been flooded in. You can see like human remains every once in a while. Rats skitter, and so it takes some time, but you manage to make your way in. Ankh, you know that you're in the right place when you can just feel like the ghost field in this area is just absolutely filled with screeching and screaming. What you sensed last time on the last score, when the sound was like just all of this anguish and pain, that was nothing compared to what this is now, right?
It's like this amplified by many
Mm-hmm.
times from all of the
Mm-hmm.
chitlin.
Mm-hmm.
I think out of honoring Ankh's situation of like feeling those things, and just to make this a little more like, a little more difficult, I think Ankh staggers, and you're going along, and suddenly you hear like her lose her footing, and she like stumbles against the wall, and when you see it, when you flash the light, Penance, when you flash the light on her, her face is just like super pale. It's just like she's lost all color in it. Like she didn't just throw up, but she looks like she probably should.
Yeah.
And she like reaches out for your hand to like straighten herself back up, and she squeezes really hard when she grabs hold when if like you reach out, and
Yeah.
then she's like, I'm okay. This is foreshadowing for when we have future failures, and this feeling overwhelms her. But
Are you wearing your owl mask?
no, that makes it even worse. I mean, I'm sure I will have to, but yeah, you can see it
Okay.
hanging, like it's right there it's like she normally, because like remember how you described it, sort of like attaches like magnetically, almost like
Yes.
it clicks into place, and so it's sort of like part of her garb, and it's like you can see the horns of the owl's ear like sticking out a little bit. It's like right there, like ready, but
Okay.
she tries not to put it on when things are gnarly like this,
Because
unless
it
she
would make it
absolutely has to.
worse.
Yeah, because it just
That's
brings it all
right.
into focus. Right now, it's just
That's
like
right.
this numbing, this
Yeah.
not numbing, but this like, yeah, very diffuse pain.
Well,
Yeah.
we're definitely on the same page because I was going to immediately say that Penance takes your hand. So I think that Penance won't let go of your hand. Won't let
Oh,
go of
nice,
Ankh's hand.
nice, nice.
So
We cut to them walking again, and we see
yeah.
in the shadows, the shadow of them, their hands linked.
Right. Every other episode, we need to have this very significant hand holding between the two
It's
of you.
so funny.
It means so much.
It does.
It does,
It
Ray.
does.
Don't diminish.
But yeah, so as you walk in closer, I'm gonna say like because you're in a control position, Ankh and Penance, you know more than one way, right, to go in.
Mhm.
Um and you clearly can I'm gonna say like you even have a map, like you like of the old
Sure.
city. I'm gonna say that
I'll check that out. I'll check that off on my. Oh, we
Okay.
should do load,
mhm.
Oh,
and
I'll
I feel like even though we're doing a stealth mission, I feel like normal. Like I feel like I'd want to have like my accoutrement.
yeah,
So
I'm going normal.
I'm gonna go
Mhm.
normal.
Mhm.
And yes, I will. I think there is a map or something
Mhm.
Oh,
somewhere
I
in there.
think
There's a
there is
map.
too. Yeah.
I should know this.
Documents?
Documents. Yeah.
That
Maybe.
is
A
about right.
collection of slim volumes of varieties of documents,
Uh,
including a registry of nobility, city watch, blah blah blah,
maybe
Yeah.
not.
a number of interesting maps. Thank you.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
Documents checked.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I think Kiara, like of the Spirit Wardens, gave that to you, right?
Hmm.
And Kiara made a promise that like Kiara was like, you don't need to tell me what you're doing, but I'll make sure that the Spirit Wardens are on the other side of Duskwall, focusing on something else, is what she said.
Nice. Nice.
But yeah, so you have several entry points, right? You can tell that there is a ritual that's going on in the area. This is one of those rituals that takes like a whole week to complete,
Right.
right? So you can feel like basically it's been going on for a while. So you know that it's reaching towards the crescendo of it
Mm-hmm.
just from the energies. So uh the three paths that you have access to, one is going to take you directly to where the children are, but the other two will give you access to other parts of the crypt that you weren't able to see in Division, where you could maybe get more information.
Cool.
Yeah. So how
I
would you like to proceed?
I feel like we're still in the like we want to know more about what she's doing and how it's working and all this stuff stage. So like I'm kind of curious to explore the rest of it. What do you think, Kristen?
Yeah, I am.
Okay,
Same.
cool. And you know how visually, I'm imagining like a lot of excuse me, pardon me. I was trying to mute, but like when I sneeze, my brain anyway. Um, Visually, when you say that there's like a rituals happening, what I envision is lots of things like a bunch of like cracked peanut shells or sesame seed shells like on the ground, and like some clay and like a bunch of candles that are all burnt out, and like uh, some chalk drawings on the walls and things like that.
Hmm.
And thinking about like the sort of mad scientist like leading up to a big like culmination of experiment, but occulty, right? So there's like all this weird like detritus of things that have like people have done in the area, and but that's past, and now they're moved on to the next phase.
You even see like a few smashed spirit jars, right? Like about a dozen.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, I think Ankh would definitely like point the electroplasmic lantern at one of those. Just not that we need to pick it up or anything like that, just so we know that there's spirits in the works. Yeah, cool. So I think we're gonna go to one of the other to the second location, to the secondary location.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are two, from what you were able to surmise, right? One is you're sure are the where Lady Arabella tends to. This isn't really where either Arabella or the Timekeeper live or anything like that. But
Right.
one is Lady Arabella's quarters. The other is the Timekeepers.
Oh dang!
Oh, wow.
I think maybe we have these like kind of roughly drawn on the map, so we can like point at one of them on the map and sort of communicate that way.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of how we can find out if they're there. And I'd
Ah,
love to search the
let's
Timekeepers.
do it. We're going to Timekeepers.
I'm obsessed. Which is my trauma, so it's okay.
It's my drama. Yeah. I think when you say that though, I'm just like you like we get to the point or I've decided and you're like the timekeepers. I'm like cool. And I just
Yeah.
like take some. I'm just like speaking of not trauma, but in this case, vice, uh, I think, yeah, I mean, I think Ankh has just a little bit of Black Lotus, and she just takes a hit because it numbs all. She just knows it's going to get even worse, and she's like, I need to be on my feet and not collapsing under the pain of this. So I just need to numb some of this right now. So there's a little vaping or a little smoking of some lotus leaf before we go in. But yeah, let's. Sure, that won't make her too woozy or anything.
No,
Yeah.
no.
It'll be
I
fine. It'll be
really
fine.
appreciate you handing Ray all these daggers. Like they need more. It's great. You're already unsteady. Now it's fine. It's fine.
This is
It'll be
how.
fine. It'll be fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you go down the corridors, right, leading to where the timekeeper's quarters, quotation mark, are, there are candles all along the side, right? And there's a moment, Ankh, when you feel especially, oh my gosh, it's like that euphoria high school moment where everything starts to like go
Mm-hmm.
sideways, right? Um, and then all the flames like suddenly like flicker at the same time, like a harsh wind is coming through, even though there's no wind at all, right? And on the far side, you see Oridon's shadow, right? Just watching, trying to reach out to you before the candles just go back to normal and the shadow disappears. And then
Wow.
when you reach the end of the corridor, the door is like slightly ajar and you can just hear like something breathing. What do you do?
And Ankh looks to Penance is like, and for whatever reason, Ankh just assumes Penance is the de facto aficionado on the Timekeeper. It's a call, a construct. You must know
Sure.
about it. I'm
Of
like,
course.
do you think it sleeps?
No.
Then what? Is it just practicing its heavy breathing to be scary?
Possibly.
All
All right.
right. I
I
think
want to
we.
peek my head in.
Yeah.
And so
Right?
so when you peek your head in, you see like there's like one ectoplasmic lamp like in the middle where all the light is coming from. And on one side of the wall, there are all these like really beautiful sketches, different places in Duskwall, different people. You recognize some of these people, like vendors by the pier and things like that, like really beautifully detailed sketches, right? Um, and on the other side are all these like ritualistic. Anki recognized like some of these mirror the ritualistic markings you saw outside, but very meticulous, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like exacting detail, formulaic, right? And how it's done. And like in front of the ectoplasmic light, there's like this huge hulking figure, right? And you see the mask of the timekeeper next to the figure, and you just hear that. And Penance, this is when you remember that when you've dealt with a timekeeper before, it never breathed.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we got to go in and check that out. So
I'm losing my edge. I was gonna say maybe we should back up for a minute. I'm glad you're here, Sean, to remind me that we played Blades on hard mode. And
yeah, is this a prowl roll? You think we're prowling in there?
we're prowling. I would like,
Group action prowl?
yeah,
I
I'd
think
like
it's
to be in the room before it notices that we're there.
yeah. I think we're sneaking in to get a better look at the ritual, so we can sort of figure out what it is about. But
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the art, but I think we want to get in and get more access to more of the room. So are we? Is this control?
Control.
Are we? Is this
Still control. Still
still
control.
Okay.
control? Okay, cool. Kristen, do you want Penance to lead it, or would you like Ankh to lead it?
I can lead it.
Okay, sounds good.
Standard effect. Controlled standard.
That is
okay.
correct. Standard.
Don't think I have anything that would affect it. Yep. All right.
If we do okay.
What's that?
I was gonna say I was looking at bonus dice, and then I realized it's too early in the score to push myself, and I don't think I want to hear a devil's bargain.
Not just yet.
I could offer you one, of course, my love. Right? Anytime. Me and my library of devil bargains are
Okay.
ready for you.
Let's hear it. I can't. I'm such a sucker for a devil's bargain. Let's hear it.
Yeah. I mean, Rays are so good.
They are.
I'm going to say that you notice that hidden in the sketches, like underneath the vendors and whatever, you realize everyone in the manor is like sketched out in exacting detail. Several, meaning the timekeeper has been watching you for a while. It's a devil's bargain I have to offer you.
Oh.
And there's this one sketch of like Angela's like reaching out towards you to like touch your face, but like where you are like is faded out and scribbled over the face again and again.
Yeah. Nice.
I have
You don't have to take it. You don't have to take it. That's
I
just
know.
I would suggest that the way you could use this to your advantage, like what like this is bad, but like why it would give you a +1D is like if you can see the angle from which the timekeeper has been watching us, like you can get a better sense of like, oh, he's
Where
always
it
looking
might
from
be.
above. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
oh, I can stay out of his field of view that way, you know. I don't know. Just throwing out there like how that might flavor the way we approach it. Like we're gonna come up behind him or it rather.
Right. And also if Penance has no memory of making the timekeeper, then this might help trigger like, well, wait, why is the timekeeper so interested? Like what's this?
Yeah.
You know, it might like make her dive into it more to find out sooner. Okay, I'm gonna take it and take my bonus die.
Cool. All right, I did not succeed.
I did.
Oh, but you did. Nice.
It's a good thing I took that devil's bargain.
yeah, accurate.
That's one stress from me. I think that comes in the
Okay.
fact that Ankh just kind of like starts like probably moves a little too quickly to get to those. You might have to slow her down to get to the ritual to study it. So.
Okay.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so as you like prowl in, sticking to the shadows, right? And you can find the shadows fairly easily, but they do keep moving in response to the lamp, right? And so, sorry, I saw Judd's questions in the chat. Very important question.
I was going to say, when did we stop holding hands? Who will go first? I feel like it's when we got to like one wall had the art and the drawings of us, and the other one had the ritual. I feel like that's when you see us split.
Yeah.
And I think Ankh will let go first because
is that what
like,
you?
That's why I caused you the stress, right? She's just like, gotta go see this thing, you know, shiny.
Oh,
sorry.
And there's Penance's hand, just still. Oh, okay.
There she goes.
All right. Other things to focus on now.
Perfect.
Okay.
But yeah, and so when you get into position, so like through the shadows, that's when you see Penance, like that same ichor that the children were made of, just dripping down from the face and drop, like right in front of the ectoplasm. But Penance, when you look at the timekeeper, you realize it's not it. You realize you're looking at an empty vessel. And it's just breathing on its own.
Because the mask is down next to it. What angle am I at? Am I like the back side? I can see the side of its face.
The side of it, yeah.
Okay.
You're like right next to it. And that exact moment when you start to realize that you're looking like at an empty vessel, like a like a discarded set of clothes
Mm.
is what it feels like when you look at it. And then that's when you notice, like, through the sketches behind you,
Mhm.
you see like it's been sketching a new mask.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that big old kablooey fireball that we left it with did mess it up after all. Like it was standing there like unfazed, but maybe or
Maybe.
maybe just like
I can let you be optimistic. That's
a
okay.
caterpillar. Yeah,
I could give you
nice.
false hope, you know.
If I so as I'm looking around then, do I see anything else in the room? Anyone, anything? Do I sense anything else other than the not it? The empty vessel?
The thing is, as you start to look around, that's when the head suddenly moves towards you and you duck out back into the shadows just in time.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
you realize, even if it's not the timekeeper, it's something.
Yeah.
It's just wearing the timekeeper.
Oh. Oh. Oh no. Okay.
And then you hear a voice from inside it saying, "Hello? Is there someone there?" What do you do?
We recognize the voice.
Ooh, it sounds exactly like Lord Skurlock.
I think up until this point, Ankh has been like whatever. It's timekeeper things. That's your thing. I want to figure out what this ritual is. Like she hasn't been super interested, but when she hears Skurlock's voice, um, yeah, she just freezes in whatever she's doing, and like I don't think she puts two and two together. That's where it's coming from. She just thinks Skurlock is here, and like this is a bad place for him to be. Um, yeah, she's like her palms get cold, and she kind of like looks over her shoulder, and then looks at you like, "Did you hear that? Like, where the hell where's that coming from?"
I think we should I think this is a good time to utilize our bound in darkness,
Oh yeah,
isn't
very
it? We
nice.
could we could talk a little bit.
Yeah, we could talk through the tremors in the ground
We
and
could
the
talk.
subtle
Yeah.
vibrations. Yeah.
We'll see if it notices the subtle vibrations. But I think Penance does open up a channel of communication and says Skurlock?
It sounds like him, but I don't see him. I mean, I know he's adept at being disguised in the dark, but he knows better than to come here.
No, his voice came from it.
It?
Yeah, don't yell.
Don't yell through our telepathic.
Don't
Right.
yell through our don't yell through our little like each of us has our hand touching the ground and we can feel the stuff and like the special effects crew is showing the little vibrations so we
Yeah,
know.
I'm gonna say when Ang said it, that's like things shake a little bit, like
Yeah,
the
Yes.
lamp shakes
Yeah,
a little.
exactly. Yeah.
exactly.
And I think when that happens, you hear the voice say, "Arabella, my love."
Um
We should
yeah.
stay still.
Yeah, we should find out who this is. I don't think it for no good reason. Because like I'm sure this whatever this isn't it doesn't mean us harm. Why she trusts Skurlock is such like I don't know, is so unfathomable. But Skurlock's voice, she's just like, oh yeah, it's got to be a friend. So I think we should. She's like, yeah, let's talk to it. Unless you're opposed to it, she's just gonna start.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, cool. Um, and so I think yeah, so Ankh walks away from the rituals amazingly. Something caught her attention even more than they did. And she says, no, no, Lord Skurlock, Arabella is isn't here now, what are you lost?
And when you ask that, they respond with, "Lord, why do you act like you know me?" And then the face, like the thing starts to move towards you, lurching forward. But as it does, like it slams down onto the ground. You can tell that whatever is inside this thing can't control the body
Mm-hmm.
very well.
I said, don't trouble yourself. You're clearly not in a good state. I think we're good friends, or one day we will be.
And then there's like this long silence. I don't know. I don't. People like me, we don't have friends. And there's a way that he says it that sounds so different from the Skurlock, you know.
Yeah.
And at that exact moment, you hear just on the very edge of your hearing, you hear Oridon say, "Little Pearl, you have to get out now. I held it back as long as I could, but it's coming." And the lights start to go out one by one in the corridor, and you hear that dragging sound of the coffin.
Nice. Well, I want to do what Orlon says, but not before I do something else. So I think I want to consort with my friend Skurlock, and I want to flash back to something like in shows. People always have like catchphrases, things that they always say, and that's harder to do in RPGs because people don't often have like my one line, but I want to. I feel like Skurlock has many times imparted wisdom to Ankh, and I feel like something he might have said, a flashback that is plausible is, or it's not even a flashback really; it's a memory that she would have that's plausible of Skurlock saying something like, "Don't ever." Don't ever assume you understand every part of a mystery. Our goal is not, it is not our place to obtain knowledge. It's our journey to keep seeking it out. And like, don't jump to this conclusion that you figured it all out just yet. And so I think I want to repeat. And I don't know. I mean, Ankh feels like there's weird timey-wimey things happening around the Timekeeper, and this might be an earlier version of Skurlock, or a Taps in Time, or an old thing from a spirit copy of his spirit, or something like that. But I want to say something that will resonate with him, so that he trusts us, and then I want to GTFO.
Right. So when you start to repeat back what Skurlock has taught you before, like he starts saying it like in sync with you, and he says, "What you're saying, it must be true. Please, I don't know how long I've been here." And like as he says that, Ankh, you look back at the ritual incantations behind you, like everything that's been scribbled down, and you realize from a certain angle it all comes together to look like a huge clock.
Can I
And
tell what time it's set to? Do I see a dial? Do I see like we're like in the 11th hour?
yeah. The thing is, as you start to realize that, that's when the hands move,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
right? And it's in time with the footsteps that are coming
Nice.
closer,
Oh, perfect. So
right?
we need to GTFO, but do you think maybe we should try and pull Skurlock's spirit out of this thing and put it in a spirit jar with us before we go? I'm sure that won't take very long.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm sure we can do
we
that
can do it real quick.
before
Let's just
the
one
Timekeeper
quick,
arrives here.
like
Just like a real quick
can.
attunement.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Let's just do that.
Ray, does that sound possible?
Oh yeah,
Or are we like
totally desperate
in
position.
cinematic timing? Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Of course, it's desperate.
Yeah, but totally doable. Totally doable. I'm gonna say
All right.
desperate standard.
Desperate standard. Cool. So I'm going to use my spirit bottle. Mark that there, and I will go ahead and glad I kind of dope myself up and put on my fine spirit mask so I can see the spirit clearly, so I can coax it out. Um, and
Oh, I can give you an assist by watching. I'm not sure that Penance could actually assist you with the ritual or with this,
oh, I think
with
you totally could. I think the
okay,
spirit is locked inside the hull that this thing is, and I think you totally understand how. Since you made it, I think you
perfect.
totally understand how hulls like hold spirits in them, so they can't get free. So you could like release the locking device that keeps the spirit in there.
I was literally going to take the easy out of being lookout because I'm so terrified of the timekeeper I can't think. Which I love and I'm here for. So thank you for reminding me that I know that. And yes, of course Penance is there. The second you're like, maybe I don't even know if Ankh has to say anything. Like, spirit jar? Penance is messing with the hall. So there's your assist.
Nice, nice. I'll take it. So
Mark that.
desperate standard, right?
Yeah.
And I've got a bonus die from the assist. I'll take that. Let's see. Can't go wrong. Oh God! All right,
It's
perfect.
okay. There's no ones there. I see
Fours, lots of fours.
Wow, I see
The
fours.
threes are scary. But we
Yeah,
have fours, so that's what
managed
matters.
to squeeze out a four. Yeah.
Okay, so what does it look like when you pull out the spirit right into the jar?
So I think we see on put on her mask and we hit the thunk, as it sort of like looks there, and then as she is seeing the world, it's like screams from all over the place are like all on the side. It's like daggers flying towards her eyes, like, and she's trying to really hard to focus in the one space that they're not coming from, and she reaches like literally into the hole, like into the opening of the where the mask was, and she like puts her hands there, and um and they start like vibrating at a certain frequency, and like from the outside you just sort of see like this vibration and the spirit jar start like a gas like a mist start to form inside of it, but from like the penance ghost field view you can see her like literally like easing this like easing this creature like out, like pulling it like as though like the construct has like barbs that are holding it in. She's like helping it free of the barbs and coaxing it out, not commanding it because a I don't have the compel ability, but also b like I don't think it wants to resist. I think it wants to help. So it's really just trying to ease it out of the construct of the hole.
Right. And so when your hand pushes into that face, there's that goopy sound and everything starts overflowing, right? Spilling out onto the floor. It like knocks over the lamp, right? And we see the flashes of light against the wall. But as you lift out the spirit, right? And in the ghost field, there's all this static and screaming on the edge of your hearing. You can hear like the ritual is reaching its crescendo as several of the children are screaming along with it. But when Skurlock arises, Skurlock is ageless, right? But even though he looks exactly the same, there's a way that he's not carrying this, like, what you realize is just this kind sadness about him, right? This gentleness. This is a very different Skurlock, right? And so his white hair is fanning out. The eyes are like bright and gleaming. And there's in your instinctually you can tell that this is a Skurlock that has just claimed the body that it has now, right? You can tell that this is a young Skurlock that perhaps had not completely come into his power,
Hmm. Is
right?
this Skurlock corporeal, or is this something I'm seeing in the ghost field? Like when
It's
I
something you're seeing in the ghost field,
right.
right? And you can feel like this is something that has been put together through ritual. You know that this is an important component, not the only one, but an important component of the ritual. But as you're pulling it out, and so you're placing it into the spirit jar, right? Like, as you're successfully, because you're able to do that. But the consequence is the time washes over you, like the time when Skurlock was young was a very, very long time ago.
Yeah.
And so you feel time like being stripped away from you. And Penance, you can see this, like Ankh is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, right? Like becoming a child right in front of you.
Oh
Sounds terrible. Also, I think it becomes the
no.
like baby, like the baby Picard episode where.
Oh my god. How tall is Ankh now?
I'm gonna say Ankh looks like this, the mask falls off for a moment.
Yeah.
Ankh, you look like you're just about 6 years old.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like 6-year-old Ankh is freaking adorable. She has these like big dimples and like silly like pigtails and and this kind of like this sort of curiosity about her that is like, I'm gonna go chase the hawks around the hunting grounds. Like hasn't seen the horrors of the world that 30-something-year-old
So,
Ankh has.
so is Ankh, so this is actually 6-year-old Ankh and not just now Ankh in a smaller body.
I don't know. What do you think, Jeremy? Or Ray? Sorry.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what's more fun? I think both things
Right,
are true at the
both are
same
fun.
time.
Yeah.
Right. And so there's this clash, right?
Okay.
Of like, there's the Ankh who's like, what is this weird, scary, creepy place? And ooh, do I want to put that in my mouth kind of Ankh? But then
Yes.
there is the older, like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
What's going
I
on?
want to say that Penance, I think we got you a spirit mask at some point. I feel like you have some. Is that true or is that not true?
Wait. I know that she has, oh gosh, it was an ability you picked up where you could like see things better. I'm trying to remember.
I have Ghost Ward.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see I'm just wondering if you could see into the ghost field.
Yeah, because I remember it came up before.
Oh, our crew took something.
Yeah, let's double check.
Our crew took something where we can see. You're right, Ray. Or I just have to look at the right sheet.
Rusted log. Ghost echoes. From weird experiences, all crew members gain the ability to see and interact with ghostly structures, streets, and objects within the echoes of dustfall that exist in the ghost field. So I'm not a structure or an object, but I think I will say this. I will say that this is so that we can have our cake and eat it too. I will say that physically, Ankh is 6 and has the personality of 6-year-old Ankh. In the ghost field, Ankh has not changed. And she is hovering over her 6-year-old self, being like, what the fucking shit? And you can hear those echoes because we're bound in darkness. So you could still hear.
Okay, I love this. Is that okay, Ray? I love it.
100%. I love that so much.
So
that still gives me the agency to do adult things if I need to.
Oh yeah.
But the freedom to do kid things.
Did Penance hear the Timekeeper as well?
Yes.
Because I know Ordon warned Ankh.
Yeah. Oh no, I was like, we gotta get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I did say that.
Yeah, I think we were like, shit, the popo's coming. You know, like we gotta.
The scarier popo. Well, then again.
I think.
Then again.
I think Penance like hears Ankh, but I imagine, and Sean, correct me if I'm wrong because it's your character. I imagine that it's nothing coherent other than like, what the fuck? Like it's just like Ankh kind of freaking out.
Yeah.
So I think Penance hearing that like coffin drag getting louder, immediately just like drops to her knees in front of 6-year-old Ankh and is like, I'm your friend.
Mm-hmm.
There's a monster coming.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
what
we're
kind?
gonna. It's a bad monster.
Oh, bad one. Okay.
A bad one, not a good one.
Sure. Okay.
But we're gonna hide
Oh,
and then we're
yeah.
gonna get a treat.
Oh, I love treats.
Yeah,
Okay.
right? What's your favorite treat?
My favorite treat are sugar sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna get. We're gonna get sugar sticks if you're really quiet and do a good job hiding from the monster.
Okay. Oh, I've totally done this job before. Hide from the monsters that mommy and daddy bring all the time. Yeah. No,
Perfect.
you
Okay.
got it.
So we have to hold hands all the time and stay quiet.
Okay. I'm totally holding it. Oh, I wish Kiara was here. She would love this game.
Oh. Okay.
Um,
And then I think Penance like also touches the ground and is like, Ankh, if you're there, get your shit together. Let's go.
I think Ankh is like hearing and seeing all this, just like, oh fucking hell, what do I do? Right? Like she's obviously coming with. I think the two Ankhs are tethered at least at this point.
Right,
But
right.
Yes, I love that. Yeah.
yeah. So let's. Yes, Ghost Ankh is just fucking staring in like boom fucking wilderness and like looking at and like baby Ankh has the Skurlock in a jar like a plaything, you know. And she's like, "Don't drop, fuck, don't drop, careful of that," you know. But let's hide from the.
Let's hide.
Yeah,
Let's
because at
hide.
that point, that's when you hear its hand on the door, and the door starts to open.
Yeah.
Oh
So we are
no.
in a desperate situation. You can hide, or you can refer to the map that you have to try to find a way out that's not through that door.
Oh yeah, let's GTFO. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's still like hiding, but like
Yes.
I feel like, come on, right? We know behind one of those pictures is a passage. Like,
100%. 100%.
yeah,
This is Duskwall, right?
Yeah.
right,
Every
That's
other
what-
painting has a passage behind it, right?
yeah,
That's okay.
exactly.
That's what we're doing. Quick with the map, out the
So,
passage.
Yeah, in fact, we're gonna say like the sketches, like you cleared away Penance, and you can see like it's this huge sketch of Lady Arabella, right? And you see yourself standing behind her with a hand on her shoulder in the painting.
Oh. Okay.
But let's roll to see if you can escape before the timekeeper knows that you've been here.
Are we rolling?
I
Oh,
think
we're
it
desperate.
could.
Oh, please don't forget to mark XP for every desperate roll you've made, right?
Oh
So,
yeah, thank you.
nummy XP.
Yeah, nummy. I think we could call this another power roll if we want. I
Trying
think
to
it could
sneak
be a
out.
study or a survey roll to like find the because once we get behind the painting, I feel like that's like the most
Yeah.
important part.
That's
So I
Go
feel like it's
prowl.
gonna be desperate no matter what. So I just pick whatever action because you're definitely leading this because Ankh is definitely not leading this action. I will roll with you, but
Okay.
because
I
Baby
will-
Ankh has the same stats as Adult Ankh when it's
Oh, yeah.
applicable. And for Prowl,
Yeah.
it's super applicable.
I'm
Yeah,
doing. I only have one in prowl, but I also only have one in survey. So I'll do prowl because I think that makes more sense.
Yeah.
So desperate, standard, correct?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I always do I push myself? Ooh. No, we're just gonna do this. Okay.
Nice. Pulls it off. Let's see if I cause you any stress. No?
Awesome.
We're golden.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, chat.
Six when it matters. 6 when it matters. Yes. Excellent. Yeah. So I think what happens is because of the 6, Penance, you're able to like not disturb the sketches too much as you get to the painting, and then like there's a click. Like we see your hands reaching around the edges of the frame, finding that place, clicks open, and just as we see the door opening, the painting is closing at the same time.
Mm.
And the body that was like in front of the lamp pushes itself back up and fixes the lamp before the timekeeper comes in.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Okay.
And then go ahead.
As I say, as soon as we get through on the other side, Ankh's looking at you like, sugar 6?
But it's just like, and like gestures down the passageway. Yes. Sure. Yes. I'm going to say from now on, go for the next however many of these 100 episodes we have left, Penance will always carry sugar sticks just in case Ankh gets turned into a 6-year-old child and she hasn't arrived.
Nice. Should we've been at this we've been at this for a bit. Should we take a little break now and see how we're doing?
Yeah, that sounds good.
And then dive back in. All
Sure.
right. Let's hang out to figure out our next plan. But friends, we'll put you on the video. You can watch my After Effects skills or lack thereof,
Yay!
and we'll see you all soon.
See you in a minute.